Hello, my darling. I want to touch upon opening the door to receiving unlimited abundance in every area of your life. And when we're talking about that, when I was opening my own door to unlimited abundance, which for me it's freedom. It's freedom of time, of course money, relationships, not being locked down into systems. I had to, firstly, of course, take care of my material things in life. And as you are embarking from one paradigm in which I was raised into another paradigm, which was the path of self-discovery, of discovery of my gifts, and actually transitioning from one identity to another identity of who I truly am and expressing myself through it, was quite a shaky path, because in this transition, all the material foundations can be shaken, and of course a relationship foundation, which were reflecting my own identity back to me, all of the relationships were shaken too. And this is not an easy path. But when I was working on all of that, because I had this drive within me, I just had to follow my intuition. And we are in Passionate Living programs, we are laying all the foundations of intuitive leadership so that you can be truly to the core authentic self, live your authentic self, and of course create a life of abundance, open the door to abundance. And as I was laying those foundations for myself first, walking this path of intuitive leadership, I had to face one core wound. I was doing meditations, I was doing manifestations, all of it, to be, of course, successful. But this core wound was laying behind all of layers I was uncovering about myself, and this was the wound of my self-worth. As I was discovering and working on this wound, there was so much, about my childhood relationship, from my childhood with people I loved the most, who I as a child relied upon. And this is really a long story, so I'm not going to share the whole story. But if you want to know more about how deep this core wound of self-worth can go even within you, I warmly invite you to start with the transmission, which is for free. And below this video I will share the link to transmission into your self-worth. And then if you feel it, do the next step and activate your self-worth, and then you can start building on this. So all the informations are below this video, but I want to maybe conclude this video with something that's really important, and that is that your abundance is directly linked to how much you feel you deserve. It's directly linked to your self-worth. And stay tuned, because I want us to shift all of that from the roots up, so that you can truly step into your divine self-worth. And this is really the core thing we need to work on, our core beliefs of how much we are worth, we can how much we believe we can receive. And this is oftentimes, as I said, behind all the layers of other wounds that we start first working on. Like if you are a self-employed or entrepreneur, you have this limit of how much you think you can receive of material abundance, or maybe you have a feeling you're not supposed to charge more because of this and that, or you are not good enough to be fully seen because there's something missing. Maybe you don't look like you're supposed to look. These AI images now are really, really, let's say maybe more attractive than your true self, right? With all the things you think you lack, but you are not lacking. You are enough. But it's your maybe challenge or your task to really lead up from inside out and attract and open the doors to the abundance. So stop thinking in terms of maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I don't know enough, maybe I'm too old, I'm too young, maybe this and that, others are better than me. Only others can be maybe spiritual, as I thought for myself when I was really pushed into this intuitive leadership identity of myself. And this may resonate with you if you've ever undervalued your services or settled for less than you deserve within the relationships, or believed all the time that you must constantly prove yourself and you think you have to give. But if that just a little bit resonates with you, then you are probably in the loop of scarcity. But the beautiful thing is, if you consciously aware of that, you can change all of that. You can recode that. You can reprogram that. And this is not as difficult as it may sound, because I know you've probably been on that path of recoding, of reprogramming, and you are still struggling with this. Maybe with the same things you struggled 3 years ago or 1 year ago, but not on the same level, right? So maybe it is time to really face one core wound, as I said, the wound of self-worth. And believe me, when you start working on this wound, this is not necessarily painful. It can be joyful, it can be relieving, you can release a lot of pressure from yourself. I've worked with clients that couldn't sleep, that couldn't share their stories, that were always putting themselves down, couldn't set boundaries in relationships, that didn't believe they deserve things they observed only with other people that they have. So I will leave you today with a few questions to ask yourself. So the first one is, where am I outsourcing my knowing instead of relying on my inner knowing? Where am I playing small to stay safe in my comfortably discomfort zone instead of taking inspired action? What would change, or what would I do differently if I trusted myself enough to follow my inner guidance? Because trust me, with these core intuitive leadership principles, Intuition will always lead you to aligned action. And aligned action is always magnetizing the abundance. And as you go along this path, you will be facing these core wounds of self-worth. But you can expedite this process by stepping into your divine self-worth. This is a process, an activation, an initiation we will be doing in soon, and there will be then a self-standing recording available, encoded. Everything we'll be doing. So trust yourself enough to step through this door of unlimited abundance. Bye bye for now. I love you and see you there.